Here I am at Big Z's. I'm getting ready to get my cutlass redone. So I'm tearing this cutlass down to the bone.
So, welcome to Moody's Mixer, Winning with Prostate Cancer, No Fear Necessary. So what's going on? I'm talking about restoration. And that's one of the things I'm having to do with my body is a complete restore. And as you can see, I have my 1970 Cutlass convertible. I am doing a complete restore from head to toe. Kind of no pun intended. As it relates to me restoring my life, restoring my body, mind, and spirit. I'm going through my own complete restoration myself. And I see it in effect and how it has affected my whole life and what's going on. And I decided to break down my car to the bare bones. And the same thing that I'm having to do with my body. And I kind of talked last week or earlier this week that my body just completely broke down. And it kind of just got stripped to the bare bones again.
I had to completely break my body down to start over again.
With this car's been break down to its frame. And one of the things you're hearing is that there's some parts that cannot be replaced. There's some parts that can be replaced. And you can bring in newer parts that even make the car even maybe a little bit better. But one of the things that you learn about restoring a car is keeping everything as original as possible. The more original that it stays, the more valuable it becomes. And one of the things I learned to understand about this journey is my walk with God and not to change anything that He's put into me. Yes, there are things that probably can be taken out, but would I lose something? That's been my fear that you heard me speak on before. I don't want anything taken out of my body because I don't want to lose that connection. So as I go through this complete restore with my body and also with my vehicle, just want to take you on this journey with me. Those who love cars, you may understand about restoring the old muscle cars. And this Cutlass is an old muscle car. And I've been driving this car for many years, but it's also have sat for many years and just been sitting and really doing nothing. And sometimes doing nothing, we feel like that, hey, we can't hurt it. If we do nothing, nothing can happen. But sometimes doing nothing makes it worse. The car, the battery dies. There are things that happens that if we don't use it, we lose it. And as I'm going through this journey with cancer, and you hear and see as Big Z talks about the car, there was some rust that the car had.
Rust. That's a form of cancer. So this car does have cancer. So that's breaking off right there. So 9 times out of 10, I'm going to have to patch this up because that's rust right here. That is a form of cancer. Tend to this pronto. Thank goodness he's getting it done now. Another year, that'll be way better. Seeing overall is looks pretty solid.
And in the car business, they call that rust, it's like a cancer. Because if you don't catch it, it spreads. One of the things you've always heard me talk about early on this journey is to find out what's happening with our bodies. Is what happens when we do nothing. And as you heard Big Z talk about the car, man, I'm glad you're catching it because this rust, or cancer as they call it in the car business, it'll eat your car away. But he said we caught it at the right time. The question becomes, did I catch my cancer at the right time? Am I doing enough to fulfill my journey So as I'm going to restore this car and bring it back to its original manufacturer specification, as I try to bring my body back to the original specification that God brought this body to, we're going to keep going. And I look forward to this journey with my car and with my body. And I'm going to try to draw the parallel that maybe help myself and help to look under the hood and just rip everything down to see what's really going on, which is what I've had to do with my body. You can see some of these pictures. I was 195 pounds, almost 200 pounds. And here I am now, really 140 pounds. I've lost over 50 pounds, you know, over the past several decades. But it's been a constant working on my body for these past few decades, you know. And this last few years, you know, it's been a dramatic change in my life because the rust, the cancer was discovered in my body just like it was in the car. And now I'm having to really dig in and do a complete frame-up restoration. And as I'm taking you through this frame-up restoration with my car, I'm going to take it through my body also. I'm going to show you some things that I've done over the past 2 years, 2.5 years, to help me get my body to the place it is today. But again, I want to thank you for tuning in to Moody's Mixer. I hope you are enjoying this series of Women with Prostate Cancer No Fear Necessary. And if you get a chance, please subscribe, hit the like button, follow on Facebook, and the various social platforms, social media platforms that I am to show my journey. And I hope you enjoy the journey that I'm on and you continue to follow and to comment because it helps me. Again, I want to thank you for tuning in to Moody's Mixer. God bless.
This is my Cutlass. Yes, so what are some of the things we're going to do with this car?
Well, what we're going to do with this car, as I do the various cars, is we're going to do a frame-off restoration. We're doing the top, that's the Lambo top. So the tops that are on Porsches, Lamborghinis, it's a European top. That's what this car will have on.
That's what I had to do to my body. I had to strip it down to its bare bones. See, y'all go out to YouTube, y'all can check out his videos. This is who's getting ready to restore this bad boy for me.
Yes, sir.
You can see this is what he's doing right here with an Impala.
LS motor, 5.3, cam, setup, has Viking coilover shocks. It's a pro touring car, has an X-frame. I modified the frame, put a racket pinion up front, reinforced the frame for horsepower, has a 4L80. Day 2. Man, when you got the man, this is EJ right here. You know what I'm saying? So when you got cold cat, things happen. Fender, done.
Look at this trash.
This is what was it, man. You know. Hold on one second. Yeah, so we off to the next fender.